Nick and Mike, what a ride this has been. You guys went from making a train and having that be the thing that saves you last week. And then this week, it's like a single log ends up knocking you out. I will
Yeah.
say you guys were not boring.
I
Yeah, we faced a lot of adversity. We did get the lucky break, and then, the breaks go both ways. Sometimes you get unlucky breaks, and that's what happened to us in this leg. But we're holding our heads high. We're proud of how we handled all the adversity that came our way, and even though we went home, it's we feel proud of the way that we handled ourselves on the race.
Yeah, I think you came off really well. I think it was a joy to watch the two of you, especially knowing that you love this show this much. So I want to hear a little bit more about this taking 7 years to get onto the
yeah.
show because guys like you're funny, you're strong, you're a team archetype that they like. Why did it take you 7 years?
That's a great question.
You gotta ask them.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's so 7 years ago we applied and we made it very far along the
Mm.
process. We made it to casting finals. They flew us out to LA and we had this great experience. But then I think we really didn't get on at that moment in time because we were very young and our story and our experience, life experience really wasn't there. I think we had a lot more learning to do. So that's why we didn't get on that time. But then we just kept applying because it was this dream, kept applying, got nothing, got nothing. And then year six, we made it through again, and we got called into casting finals once again. And this time, Mike and I thought we absolutely crushed our interviews. We thought, like, this is our year, year six, we're on this show. And then unfortunately, we got the call that said we're going to rip off the Band-Aid. You guys were great. We loved you, but you just didn't fit the puzzle piece this year, which gave us a little bit of hope. So it ended up being that year seven was our magical year where we fit uh, that puzzle, and we made the dream come true. And it only happened because we didn't give up.
Lucky number seven, right?
It seems like seven's our lucky number. Yeah, season 37, 7 legs, 17th to go out. And yeah.
And we finished seventh place in the last three legs.
That is true. You did. Um, so as fans, what did you make of all the twists this season? Like, how did the old ones coming back and the brand new ones, any favorite ones?
Yeah. So the twist made it really interesting. The favorite one, Mike, what would you say is the favorite one?
I don't have a favorite, but I can definitely share some insight as to which one shook things up the most for us. Going into the race, we had 7 years to prepare and train. And so we did, all the things. We did escape the rooms. We navigated with just a map and no internet and across states. Like we memorized the major phrases in all the different languages just so we knew how to tell a taxi driver to hurry up in that language. Like we did all of the training. And so going into leg one, we felt really confident, really, ready to go. And then we finished leg one in sixth place, which honestly, if you zoom out, is really awesome because you're not at the top of the pack. You didn't put necessarily a target on your back, but you're also not in the back half of the pack either. So you're kind of cruising, which is great. But because of the fork in the road, even though we finished in sixth place, we were seconds away from being eliminated. And that shook us to our core because the
Mm.
idea that we were going to get eliminated on the first leg and that we were just seconds away from that actually happening, we could not shake that feeling off for the next seven legs. And it really shook our confidence because we went in thinking like, all right, we're doing great. And then we left that first leg looking at each other like, oh my God, did we really just almost get eliminated on leg one? Like that would have been horrible. And then that just stayed with us and we couldn't really catch our stride. Like
Yeah.
we would start each leg saying to ourselves, all right, fresh start here. And then at some point in that leg, usually towards the end, something would happen that would set us back. And then that loop of like, oh my God, we're stuck in the back again. That fear would kind of take over again. And so I don't think that what we saw on the Amazing Race for this season that we were on, the performance we gave was truly our best. And a lot of it came down to being frazzled right from the start. Like we didn't have that confidence that we really needed in order to do our best and be our best.
Yeah, I think at that point though, there's not a whole lot you guys can do differently. But we did clock that like you'd start out the first half in great shape and then something would always happen.
Yeah. And we're definitely not blaming circumstance. That's
No.
we could have done so much better at many different challenges. And I think the biggest thing that we learned is that slow is fast. And ultimately, even though we had to learn that time and time again, in the end, it bit us in the butt. And when we needed it most to be slow at the hate challenge, we rushed and it ended up biting us in the butt. So we did a lot of things poorly and we could have done a lot of things better, but we did face a ton of adversity that was definitely out of our control. And luck was on our side, but then also not on our side as
It's just
much.
like anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the hay if you're not traumatized for life by hay.
No, we
Go
could
for
do
it.
We could do
And
it.
I want to talk I want to talk a little bit about the U-turn as well,
Yeah.
because I think in that moment, if you get there first, who are you going to U-turn? Were you still gonna U-turn Han and Holden, or are you gonna use the U-turn at all?
No, we weren't going to U-turn anyone at that point because we would have known that there was two teams behind us. Because so to go back a second, if we didn't have to make that third trip, we would have got the third trip with the wood. We would have
Mhm.
got to that board before Erica and Melinda, and then we would have known there's Erica and Melinda and there's Han and Holden. We don't need to U-turn anyone right now. Let's just keep running our race, and we wouldn't have done anything. So at that point, we wouldn't have done anything. But we were very confused when we got to that board and we saw Melinda and Erica U-turn us because we knew that Han and Holden were behind us as well. But after watching last night, we realized that they didn't know that. And
Mhm.
no one at all knew that Jack and Carson were 2, 3 hours behind all of us. So that was the real wrench in the whole plan.
So when Jack and Carson finally rocked up to the challenge, did that light a fire under you? Did that give you a little bit extra hope?
Yeah, we we were just saying that we thought we might have been hallucinating at that point when they pulled up. We didn't know if it was the sun beating down on us or it was real life. But when we did see them, it did. We basically our tanks were basically on empty at that point. We just carried 400 pounds of wood, ran back and forth. We're standing in the burning hot sun for hours. Like our tank was completely empty. But
Yeah.
seeing them definitely gave us that jolt of adrenaline to just keep
Yeah.
going and not give up
Right
there.
before they showed up, we were actually like pulled to the side by medical attention to like give us electrolytes and like medicine because we looked like we were about to pass out because we did not stop looking for 3 hours straight. And at that point, like when they do that overhead shot, it was like a half of a football field of territory that we ended up covering over and over and over again. And the sun was literally right on top of us. So we had nothing in the tank, but we saw them and we dug into reserves that we didn't know we had for that last bit. Like before they showed up, you see us kicking the hay because that was literally all the energy we had was just kick. And then they showed up and we started getting down on our knees again. But I think we could have been there for the entire night and still probably not found that bracelet. It was just buried so deep and we were just so far gone.
So how many hours were you out there in total? Was it another hour or so past that?
I think it was 6 hours total.
Oh my God.
It was probably somewhere between 6 and 7 hours, I would say.
Yeah, it's never good when Phil shows up.
Yeah.
No, it's honestly at that point it was like a bittersweet moment because we had just completely been depleted of all of our energy. And seeing him was like, he even says it like, I'm here to take you out of your misery. And, he did. But then the bitter part was the fact that, like, the news he's delivering is that you're no longer running in this amazing race. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's always hard to watch someone go out that way, and especially like as hard as the two of you were clearly working. Do you have any idea what the temperature was that day?
I mean, I can use I don't know the exact temperature, but it felt like 90s.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, they pan up to the sun, and you just
Mhm.
see it's like there's no coverage. It's just blazing down on you. And like I said, like this is after already doing a side of the detour
Yeah.
where it was very physical and very depleting of energy. So we really had just about nothing
And
left in us.
also another thing that happened during that time was Nick's eye was re-irritated from the hay and
Oh,
all the hay
with the
dust.
Yeah.
sand or the rice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and which
Yeah.
is something that, really, I don't think it got a little bit of attention, but I ran 3 legs of the race with a piece of rice lodged in my eyeball.
Oh, you didn't
So
even get
yeah,
it out. I thought it just,
I
oh my
had
God.
just gotten it out as soon as we finished the leg in Dubai. So I did the 2 legs in Bali and the whole leg in Dubai with a piece of rice in my eye.
God.
They literally
That's,
had to scrape it. It had been so long that this piece of rice was in his eye that they had to like scrape the cells that had formed over it and then like tweeze out
ooh,
a piece of rice. So he was,
So then
I got to give him a lot of credit though. He did not complain a single time, not once.
that was tough.
But yeah,
that's, wow. Yeah. Oh, eye
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Is there anything else that we didn't see that you'd want everybody to know about your time on the race?
I think the eye thing is really something that I wanted people to know that I don't know that people really like. If you look back at the episode in Dubai and they show me, my eye was extremely swollen, and it's really hard to like stay focused for a long period of time when you feel like there's something constantly irritating you. You're not really sleeping through the night, so I think that was the biggest thing, and that lack of sleep affects your ability to make good decisions and all that. So I think it really did affect us pretty heavily.
Yeah, and you didn't sustain any permanent damage, like you're fine now?
No, no, I'm fine now. Thank God.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Well,
Thank you.
it's been a real pleasure getting to talk to the two of you. And of course I always have soft spot for podcasters and New
Thank
Yorkers.
you.
So,
Thank you. And we love listening to you, and you have a fantastic voice, which is so soothing to listen to. So
oh, thanks.
thank you for being you and doing what you do.
Yeah.
It's great work.
Well, I've enjoyed the work that you two are doing as well. And so looking forward to seeing more of you in the podcasting space. So,
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We appreciate you.
yep, wish you all the best.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.